China, August 15th, 2025. China has no way out. In Sichuan, floodwaters have reached the second floor, forcing the elderly and children to climb onto rooftops in the middle of the night, waiting for rescue. Meanwhile, a new storm, typhoon number 12, named Lingling, is preparing to make landfall in China. On August 15th, the skies over China looked like a chaotic painting smeared with dark, suffocating clouds. The storm clouds pressed low, as if trying to swallow everything beneath them. In Foshan, once proud of its strict epidemic prevention measures, a bitter irony unfolded. The city had just installed nets around its drainage system to block mosquitoes that spread disease, but now it was submerged by historic rainfall as Typhoon Yangliu struck directly. With no escape route for the water, streets quickly turned into muddy rivers, sweeping away garbage, trees, and the panic of residents. Typhoon Yangliu was not just a storm, it was an ocean's fury unleashed. From Fujian, violent winds seemed to tear at the ground, while rain poured like a waterfall, turning every road into a sea. Power outages spread across entire regions, disaster prevention systems collapsed, and coastal areas, already battered by waves, could only watch as more ferocious swells slammed into shore. The howling wind mixed with human cries for help created a terrifying symphony. On the morning of August 15th, China's Central Meteorological Observatory issued consecutive yellow alerts for heavy rain and blue alerts for extreme convective weather. From the northeast and inner Mongolia to the Sichuan Basin, heavy downpours, torrential rain, and even hail pelted the land without pause. Some areas recorded 150 millimeters of rainfall in just a few hours. Gusts over force 8 toppled ancient trees like matchsticks. In Guangdong, Guangxi, and Guizhou, massive sheets of rain swallowed entire villages behind walls of water. Before people could catch their breath, a grim forecast rang out like a death knell. After Yangliu weakens, a new chain of storms is forming. Lingling was already stirring in the South China Sea, and behind it, typhoon number 13 was tracking from east of the Philippines. Widespread rainfall is expected to begin on August 17th, covering more than 8 provinces with relentless downpours for 3 straight days. Nature seemed to be orchestrating an unending cycle of attacks on China. In Guangxi, Yangliu's eye had passed, but its remnants still clung to the sky like a giant wet blanket. Many areas remained under heavy rain. Landslides blocked roads, forcing vehicles to a standstill. In Guangdong, northern Guangxi, and southern Hunan, the ground was saturated from days of rain. Just one more downpour could trigger flash floods and landslides at any moment. While the south struggled to recover, the north braced for a new onslaught. The shifting subtropical high dragged thunderstorms and strong winds over northern China, turning the sky into a giant steamer. Dew points exceeded 24 degrees Celsius, making the air feel thick and suffocating. Even the normally cool northeast was enduring stifling heat and humidity expected to last at least a week. Beijing, the political and economic heart of China, has faced unprecedented trials over the past 2 weeks. On August 14th, a sudden downpour led to widespread flooding, flash floods, and landslides. Districts like Miyun, Fangshan, and Huairu became vast lakes. Videos online showed cars submerged past their windows, streets reduced to streetlights, and rooftops poking above the water. In Huairou's mountains, landslides sent thick mud pouring into valleys, sweeping away trees and homes. Many families, still recovering from late July disasters that killed 41 in Beijing, were forced to evacuate again. Homes remain unrepaired, roads cut off, and electricity and communication in hundreds of villages have yet to be restored. But the new rains allow no time for recovery. Not only Beijing, but also the Sichuan Basin and Chongqing were under siege. On the morning of August 14th, a wall of rain slammed into Chengdu, Dayang, and Leshan. The already fragile drainage system was overwhelmed. In Mianzhou, floodwaters rose to chest height in just 1 hour. In Leshan, the Min River rose 1.2 meters in a single day, breaking historical records. Experts say this disaster was caused by a deadly combination of the subtropical high and remnants of Typhoon Dana's, creating a moisture highway aimed directly at southwestern China. Moisture from the southwest monsoon collided with cold northern air, locking rain clouds in place over the Sichuan Basin and turning it into a giant reservoir. Images on social media defied belief. In Chongqing, water reached the second floor of many houses. Families climbed onto rooftops to wait for rescue, while on the streets, cars were swept away like toys. Torrents poured into dormitory entrances, forming whitewater waterfall caves. In a village in Beibei, 2 elderly people and a child were trapped, forced to climb to the highest floor, waiting each second that felt like an eternity. Residents across China lamented that no place in their country feels truly safe. In Shandong, from August 15 to 17, heavy rain and force 10 winds struck repeatedly. Dry statistics like 121 millimeter in Linhai or gusts over force 10 in reality meant roofs ripped off and giant billboards weighing hundreds of kilograms toppled. Even Hainan, the tropical island province famed for tourism, has gone into defensive mode. A tropical depression is forecast to form in the South China Sea on August 17th, bringing strong winds and heavy rains sweeping east to west. Authorities have urged fishing boats to change course, offshore drilling rigs to avoid the storm, rice farmers to drain their fields, and rubber plantation owners to halt tapping to avoid having an entire season's harvest washed away. From Beijing to Sichuan, Fujian to Hainan, China seems trapped in a siege of storms, rain, and floods. Forecast numbers flash across screens, but behind them are millions living without power, without water, with roads cut off and the constant threat of secondary disasters. No one knows how much destruction Lingling and Typhoon number 13 will bring. For now, the relentless rains, violent winds, and overlapping floods have pushed many provinces to the brink. Yet in this grim landscape, the faint beams of flashlights in the night, the hands pulling others to higher ground, and the hurried messages, "We're safe," sent through weak signals are proof that, though small against nature, people have never stopped resisting fate.